the regular meeting of Town Council on Thursday, May 8th. We have quorum here with who's in attendance, and I will pass the chair to Councillor Kirchek, who is going to do the acknowledgement and run the meeting.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The Mayor and Council wish to acknowledge that the town of Fort Smith is located within Treaty 8 territory. Treaty 8 territory also encompasses the traditional homelands of the Salt River First Nation, Tabati Denisuthlane Nation, and the indigenous Métis people of Fort Smith. These nations have maintained stewardship of their sacred lands throughout the generations. We honor your knowledge, teachings, and traditions of the land. We are mindful that colonization has not been kind, and we respectively recognize our generational histories and commit to strive for unity in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. Councillor Cox.
I'll move that the agenda be adopted as presented.
Seconder. Councillor Tucky. Any additions, deletions, changes? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. No delegations tonight. I think the RCMP are going to appear at the next meeting. Moving on to approval of the minutes from the council meeting of April 28th. I'll be looking for a motion to approve those minutes. Councillor Covet.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of April 28, 2026 be adopted as presented.
And is there a seconder?
I'll second it.
Councillor Bates. And I'll just take a moment for people to see if there's any errors or corrections to be made. Or any questions, business arising? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Business arising from the minutes? Well, I kind of already asked about that. I don't think there's any. Declaration of financial interest, none has been put forward. We'll go over that. And we're up to the administration section. So, department head reports, so protective services. Forget if I ask, oh, you know what, I missed something. I should have introduced to our wide audience our new SAO, Mr. David Henderson. So wave to the crowd. And I never remember if I just go straight to Director McNabb or if I ask the SAO to introduce him.
I'd be happy to turn it to the director immediately.
All right, Director McNabb, take it away.
Thank you, Councillor Karashuk. So before you is my report for April 2026. I'll entertain any questions, but I'll give a brief overview. So 25 response calls for fire and ambulance over the course of the month. It continues our trend of below average, which we do like to see. Folks are not needing to call us. We conducted a significant amount of training through April, and that's continuing into May. We had 10 training events over the course of the month, and we completed our EMR course. Very proud to say that we have 10 new medics successfully trained. As well, when I wrote this report, we're going to run a wildland urban interface course. We've since run it, so that went Friday through Sunday of this last weekend. We had 14 people run through the wildland urban interface course, and everybody did a great job, so I really want to thank them all for their time and appreciate the engagement from that group, as well as thanking Urban Edge and Rodney Schmidt for coming up to do the course. We'll be continuing with a significant amount of training over the next month that will be centered around the wildland urban interface, preparing for the wildfire season, and our regular complement of structural fire training. We did just fill the Protective Services Coordinator position, which was approved in the 2026 O&M budget. So I would like to welcome to our department Spencer Porter. Spencer brings a lot of background and knowledge from the wildfire world, but emergency management in general. He's also been a member of our fire and ambulance department. So it will be a pretty seamless transition for him into the group, and I'm really excited to have him in that role. It will bring a lot of operational stability to the department so that I can focus more on the director level stuff and support our volunteers. So very excited for that, and big thank you to Spencer, and a big thank you to everybody that applied. We had a great group of people. It was a tough decision. Lands and Development wrapped up the Board of Revision. There were a couple of appeals there. Nick also attended the HAF committee meeting in April and has been busy wrapping up the renewal of business licenses, as well as getting on top of development permits and actioning and closing them in advance of the coming build season, where we see a pretty significant increase in permit applications. Again, that business licensing report, I will continue to have it in here unless I'm given direction otherwise by council. So this was the new report that was requested last month, and the numbers were reflected there to date. Bylaw enforcement, there's an error in the total, so it was 28 total bylaw files that were opened by our bylaw officer, and you can see that 89%, a significant amount of them were animal control, which we often see in the spring as a bit of a spike. Emergency management, so the emergency management plan review process is complete. The emergency management plan has been reviewed and adopted. It was also circulated digitally to everybody on the local emergency management organization meeting that we held last week. It will be made available on the town website, and we will continue to push messaging around emergency preparedness over the next month in advance of the wildfire season. Occupational health and safety, there's breakdown there as always of any of the incidents reported. And then a brief update on the capital projects. So I'll turn it over if there's any questions. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Director McNabb? Councillor Benwell.
Somebody approached me about business license. I think that it's a baking, a home baking one, and so they're still waiting. It's been quite a while now that they've been waiting. Not too sure what the circumstances are around that. I don't know, but they're still waiting, and they really want their answers like quickly.
Director McNabb.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Benwell. I will follow up with Nick to see where that's at. I'll see if there's any outstanding home food businesses.
Yeah, because I remember it. I
Councillor
remember
Benwell.
it coming through the council quite a while ago. Yeah.
I'll follow up.
Councillor Cox.
Thanks. I was reading through the 2025 wildfire plan, emergency plan. I was just wondering, is there a 2026 version in the works, or is it done every couple of years?
Director McNabb.
Yeah, thank you. So you mean the emergency management plan?
No, there was a wildfire protection plan.
Sure. The community wildfire protection plan is actually on a 5-year cycle, and we just completed that 2024, I suppose. So it's slated for 2029, but we review it annually and make recommendations.
Councillor Bate.
Yeah, this is not a question. I just happened to find myself on a EMS scene today, and I just wanted to give kudos to the crew. It was kind of on midday. The level of professionalism was awesome, and it just really goes to show, the training you're talking about it goes a long way.
Thank you, Councillor Bate. Any further questions? Councillor Couvette.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's actually in regards to the capital report. Previously, I'd made comments regarding our GNWT procrastinating on the transfer of lands for the fire training grounds. And I noticed in the capital report that we're making progress on it, but it also references that we are looking at an alternate site, which is really disappointing that we have to look at alternate sites when they should be working with us to enhance community safety and things like that. So I was just wondering, is there plans to move to the proposed initial site at a later date? And if so, what would be the cost in, there is gonna be a cost in having to move all the apparatuses and things, so.
Director McNabb?
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Kubrat. So you're correct, we are still waiting on some follow-up. Well, actually, I should correct that. We just got follow-up from GNWT ECC Lands regarding those applications, and the land specific to where we were considering this training site are of particular interest in the consultation process. So it's the consultation process rather than GNWT Lands that is delaying progress, and we got that update just last week. So ECC Lands is being responsive currently, and we need to work through that process. Regarding the alternate, I think there is a significant opportunity to partner with Aurora College, and Aurora College is interested in working with us on this site. Should we ever have to move it in the future, these particular facilities are quite mobile and the site prep is fairly minimal. You're right, there would be some associated costs, but it wouldn't be significant. And I actually, after much thought, prefer this alternate site, if I were to be honest with you.
These are pretty honest.
Thank you. Any further questions? Mr. Chair, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, a year ago, we passed a motion regarding parking on Simpson Street, and now that the snow is almost melted, I'm just wondering what the status of the change to parallel parking is at. Director McNabb.
Thank you, Councillor Karashak. I actually was just speaking with Director Grenier 2 days ago, so all of the signage is in, all the bullards are in, the necessary equipment. So all he's waiting for now is the ground to thaw enough to drill for the signs. We're 100% ready to go, and he's planning on actioning that within the next couple weeks.
Thank you. Anything further? Seeing none, thank you for your report. Unfortunately, our Director of Corporate Services is unable to be with us here tonight. She did submit a written report, and if there's any questions, I'm sure our new SAO will jot them down if he can't answer them, and make sure that she gets back to us. So, were there any questions with the written report submitted? No? Well, if some do arise, please feel free to email her. Accounts paid, SAO?
Mr. Chairman, if you will, our Director of, Mr. Renaud is going to take off, leave the room, just so you're all aware of it. He has another meeting to attend.
Okay. Are you asking us to vote to give him permission?
I just want to make sure you realize he's not just running out on you.
He's the emergency guy, he runs the.
Also included is the accounts paid list. Were there any questions with regards to that? Seeing none, and a summary of correspondence. Okay, moving on. You should have an updated briefing note with regards to the Fireweed Festival donation request that was raised at the last meeting. This one has a little bit more detail in it. I would entertain a motion as written in your backer so that we can discuss it further. Is there a mover? Councillor Tucky,
Testifying first.
page 2 of 6.
Bottom of page 2 of 6, right there.
I move the council approve the $2,500 cash donation in kind support with an estimated value up to $2,500 to Fireweed Festival NT, including event services, facility use, and riverside camping and access. subject to operational capacity, and all that activities comply with applicable laws and policies.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor Bates seconds. Any discussion? Councillor Covet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was, reminiscent, last meeting where I failed to do my typical rant on our need for a donation policy. I fully support, this festival and, the economic benefits and, the people that it will attract to our community. But that still leaves us without a very detailed or practical donation policy that addresses things, not only the financial contributions, but how we deal and measure both the in-kind activities and also how we recognize some of the economic benefits of these different events, so that as councillors we can make an informed decision on the matter before us.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Covet. Any further comments or questions? I'm assuming then that the revised briefing note answered most people's concerns from the previous meeting. I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Next is a briefing note with regards to updating signing authorities. Can I get a mover? Councillor Cox.
I'll move the council approve the signing authority records to be updated to add David Henderson as of May 5th, 2026.
Seconder, Councillor Tucky. Hopefully there's no discussion. Questions? All in favor? Oh, you have a question?
Nope.
Oh, you were just anxious. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very
Sign
much.
away, David, sign away.
Council business. Bylaws and policies. Briefing note on the mill rate, bylaw 1084. I guess we should have a motion and then we can discuss which one to go. So Councillor Bay.
I move that council select the mill rate calculation and associated property class weighting to be used in the preparation of the 2026 mill rate bylaw number 1084.
Seconder, Councillor Cox. Thank you. Now discussion. Councillor Covet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For probably the past 9 years, I've commented on our need to look at trying to incentivize people to actually develop their undeveloped properties. Looking at the various scenarios presented in the bylaw, in the briefing note, it's only the first scenario that presents anything, any reference to undeveloped properties. And I would like to, before moving forward with this, to know what the impacts would be on undeveloped properties using some of the other scenarios. I think we should continue to increase mill rates on undeveloped properties it's the only tool that we seem to have at this point in time to encourage the people that are sitting on an undeveloped property to actually consider moving them from undeveloped to developed properties so that we can collect the appropriate taxes and benefit the community. So not having that detail in the other three scenarios, whether we're going to increase the weight that we put on undeveloped properties or not, leaves me sort of in a bit of a quandary about our next step with this.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Covet. Any other comments? Councillor Cox.
Yeah, I think I'm all for encouraging more development, but to my extent, I think this gets along to what we had talked about as part of the HAF committee discussions we had. But my thoughts on that was there's not a shortage of lots that is inhibiting growth in this town. There's lots available, so I think I'm okay with increasing fees a little bit on undeveloped lots, but it shouldn't be the main driver because it's not, people sitting on undeveloped lots is not what's stopping development in this town. For the most part, in my opinion.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. Councillor Tucky.
I think my concern there with the undeveloped lots, I think in the old policy states that you have 2 years to show development on the property. Means clearing it, whatever. There's so many lots in this town where people have bought them to sit on them. And taking into consideration there are, as Councillor Cooper had pointed out, maybe we could increase the taxes, try and encourage people. But I think there's also a system within the old bylaw that if the development, some form of development doesn't happen in the 2-year period, they're also open to being fined as well. Now the other concern is that we have to take into consideration only a couple of years ago, the whole town had to evacuate. We can't predict the fire seasons. And I think one of the things we have to be concerned about is fire smarting our community, which is an ongoing thing for us at the town here. And I think people have to be held accountable to either do some development, remove brush as a fire is smarting inside of them, and failure to do so should result in a fine.
Both valid points, but I think the latter one wouldn't be addressed under the mill rate policy. Councillor Cox.
Yeah, I was just gonna counter that same thing where there's fire smart side could be addressed through public safety by law enforcement, because I have an undeveloped lot right now that I'm developing, but I mow it and maintain it more than some of the developed lots in town. So I don't think that's not necessarily the right venue, but yeah.
Deputy Mayor.
I don't know if our new SAO can answer this, but why did we go from 12 criteria to 3 options of 6? Like the reduction on the grid here, like are they repeating, or I didn't see anything to explain that. Why the first one has 12 different groups, terms, and then the other ones are all much smaller, right?
Mr. Chairman, I believe it's because the additional ones are all related to undeveloped property classes of the existing property classes. So it's got undeveloped country, undeveloped industrial, undeveloped institutional, undeveloped residential.
Pull them out.
Yeah, and why that consideration, I'm not privy to that discussion yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Councillor Bates.
So does that mean if we're looking at like the scenario 2 and beyond, those subclasses would be considered in there, they're just not shown?
I was kind of wondering. Yeah.
Is that, right, we're talking about similar weighting, but like the undeveloped elements of those subclasses would be there, but we're just kind of talking about balancing it.
I can't answer for sure just yet.
Okay.
But,
Because I think if those subclasses were present in any of those other scenarios, then the discussion would be quite different.
and I'd have to think that if we're presenting the classes and they're not in what's being adopted, then they shouldn't be there.
Right.
So that's about 80% sure. So,
Councillor Couvette.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, it's more, I guess, with what we're going to be giving first and second reading tonight, supposedly, is typically the process is we have to read out the weight for each of the categories as part of the reading of the bylaw. And if we choose anything other than scenario 1, we're unable to read into the bylaw what the weight is to the undeveloped properties.
Good point, thank you. Any further comments? We do have the option, if we so choose, to request additional information or complete grids to hold a special meeting according to the CCTV Act. We have to give at least 48 hours, so the earliest we could do that would be Thursday at 7. Is that something that council would be more comfortable with, is having a more complete briefing note with each of those grids fleshed out?
Yes. Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, SAO?
Just be aware too that with all 3 readings, you can't read the 3rd reading tonight because of all council not being here. So there was going to be a recommendation if you went 1st and 2nd reading tonight to have a special meeting Thursday for a 3rd reading. So that's going to be on the deck if you were to go with 1st and 2nd reading. If you choose to wait till you have more information, you'd have 1st, 2nd, potentially a 1st, 2nd, and or a 3rd reading Thursday at a special meeting.
I think we can only have 3rd if we are all here and unanimous. But I think not having that additional information really means we'd be making a decision, I don't want to say blind, but half blind. So I would lean towards that myself as well. Do we need a motion for that then?
I would ask that this motion on the floor be tabled and then a new motion be brought to hold a special meeting on Thursday, May 7th at 7 p.m.
Okay, I've already forgotten who read the motion out.
Councillor Bathe
And Councillor, are you okay with tabling it?
I guess so.
And Councillor Cox, you're okay as well? Okay, so we will table this motion until the Thursday special meeting, and if we could have a motion to create a special meeting on Thursday to deal with the mill rate. Councillor Couvette?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that Mayor and Council call a special meeting for May 7th, 2026 at 7 p.m. to deal with the mill rate bylaw reading.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Tucky? Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Okay. Excuse me, I'm still battling a little bit of a cold. Carried unanimously. We'll deal with this and with direction towards the SAO to the Corporate Services Director to present an updated briefing note with complete grids. Okay, so that means we can skip over a bunch of these and move on to Roman numeral 4, the SAO employment bylaw, page 4 of 6. Are you moving it, Councillor Cox? Yeah, no, Councillor Cox.
I'll move that the SAO employment bylaw number 1077 be given 3rd and final reading by title only.
Seconder, Deputy Mayor, any discussion? All in favor? Carried unanimously.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, land disposal. Councillor Tucky.
I move the land disposal of lot 1752, plan 433023 Whitford Road, bylaw number 1080, be given 3rd and final reading by title only.
Seconder, Councillor Cox. Questions? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Who's up? Councillor Couvette.
I move that land disposal of lot 1759, plan 4330, 7 Whitford Road, bylaw number 1081, be given 3rd and final reading by title only.
Seconder?
Can we?
No,
when do
it's
we?
1081, I just.
Oh,
Okay, so did you say, can you
You said
correct it to 1081?
Yes.
Okay, he did, okay. Seconder? Deputy Mayor? Questions? All in favor? Unanimous. Next one. Councillor Cox.
I'll move that the land disposal of lots 1739, plan 4330, 446 Calder Avenue, bylaw number 1082, be given 3rd and final reading by title only.
Seconder? Councillor Tucky. All in favor? Unanimous. And the last one. Councillor Bain.
I move that land disposal of lot 1763, plan 4330, 14 Whitford Road, bylaw number 1083, be given third and final reading by title only.
Seconder, Councillor Crivette. All in favor? Carried. Okay, that went relatively quickly. Mayor and Council Roundtable, or Deputy Mayor and Council Roundtable. We'll start with Councillor Bain.
Oh,
Doesn't usually get to start.
yeah, no, was not expecting to go first. Yeah, I didn't sit in on any meetings or anything like that since our last get together, so I don't have anything really to speak to that end. I do have just some concerns about we've seen on social media and on the news, and a little bit was discussed here in our last meeting about the potential cuts at the school or schools, and so just would, to anybody who's listening, put it out there that people should speak to their MLA, to their MP, that the cuts to Jordan's principal and the cascading effects that those have deeply affected our community and the community across the north, and it's devastating to see the teachers and the aides that won't be coming back next year. And so that'll have an economic impact on our community as well as an educational impact on students in our community. So I think we as council should get behind, try to get more funding for our school and helping to maintain the programs that are there, as well as the teachers that are there. And so looking forward to hear from the DA in upcoming meetings about kind of how we got to this and how we can help support more funding coming to the schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Not bad for not much to say. Not a whole lot of meetings in the last week since our last meeting, so all I can really speak to today was I attended the red dress ceremonies today in Fort Smith on behalf of the town. Our councillor Connie Benwell was there as well and spoke, and very well, thank you very much for that, that was quite nice. And Patty is there as well, she's on the board, so she's actually there right now representing the Uncle Gabe's board. So 3 of us were there for the town as well as other capacities, and it was a moving event. I hope all of you took the time to see the dresses around town. I wasn't around much this morning, but I was driving around to get home and I noticed red dresses hanging in different locations around town, and I think that a lot of people went to a lot of work to remind us why this is an important day. So for that, just to acknowledge that, and well done, and thank you, Connie, for your talk tonight. It was very well done.
Councillor Tucky.
Well, actually, I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I haven't really been around for any meetings and stuff. I do have to bring something up in regard to the red dresses hanging around town. I received a couple of phone calls and I went and I looked myself. There were some unhappy people about a red dress hanging out by the sewage lagoon.
Oh,
on our sign. And the only thing I could think of was when all the departments were told to do something for the red dress celebrations. And it just wasn't a good place to hang a red dress. Just so that we don't do it again. That's it.
Noted.
Thank you. Councillor Cox.
Thanks. I have anything to add today other than, always plug in the fire smart. The snow's disappearing. It's gonna be real dry within a week or two, so just time to think about the emergency planning and updating your insurance profiles and fire smarting around your yard, especially. I'm already raking leaves. So that's it. Thanks.
Councillor Corbett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really don't have much to add. I would just like to acknowledge that today was Red Dress Day, and it was good to see several of our councillors and the deputy mayor representing our community, and all the other people that participated. So that's about all I have to add.
Thank you. Councillor Benwell.
I just want to thank everybody who came out to the red dress walk, and it was nice to see everybody out there. And thank everybody who came out to the Aurora College one. That was nice to see everybody out there as well. It's nice to see that everybody is participating in such an important day. And as for the red dress that was hanging by the lagoon, to me it just means that our loved ones are found anywhere. They're found in the landfill. They're found anywhere. My daughter was found in a rural area outside of Edmonton. So I think that maybe that was the thought behind hanging that red dress there by the lagoon. So I don't know, but just what I have to say.
Okay, thank you. I also want to express my acknowledgement of Red Dress Day and thank all those who participated and helped organize. But I also wanted to veer off and talk a little bit about last week's audit presentation. Watching it online and the flicking back and forth from here to there, I really did not find that presentation very useful, to be honest. I don't know how others felt. I really couldn't follow it that well, and I really didn't get an understanding perhaps of what was meant. So maybe it's just something to pass a note on, that we look at changing how that general information is presented, because it really was of little value to me as a councillor, especially watching it online and that screen just flying back and forth. That's all I wanted to say there. We actually have a proclamation, and it's a big one. Thank goodness I don't have to read it. Who would like to move this proclamation? Deputy Mayor.
You're gonna tell me, okay. I'm gonna do this, I better put something on to read. Here we go. 26095, that mayor and council approve the proclamation as stated. Whereas environmental sensitivities, ES, including multiple chemical sensitivity, MCS, can substantially limit function and significantly impact quality of life, and whereas the Canadian Human Rights Commission recognizes environmental sensitivities, and whereas it is estimated that more than 1 million people in Canada have been diagnosed with multiple chemical sensitivity, and whereas the subset of these individuals has been identified as experiencing electromagnetic hypersensitivity, and whereas symptoms can range from mild to severely debilitating, and whereas environmental sensitivities, multiple chemical sensitivity Awareness Month is observed in May, with May 12th recognized as Environmental Sensitivities Multiple Chemical Sensitivity Awareness Day. And whereas to achieve a better quality of life, individuals with environmental sensitivities, multiple chemical sensitivity, require access to safe housing and appropriate health care. And whereas community efforts by organizations and individuals raise awareness, offer hope and support research through advocacy and fundraising. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Mike Keyser in this case, on behalf of Fort Smith City Council, do hereby proclaim, hear ye, May 12th, 26th as Environmental Sensitivities Multiple Chemical Sensitivity Awareness Day in the city of Fort Smith.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Tuckey. I don't think, do they get discussion? Councillor Couvette?
I'd just like to point out that as much as we think we're not a city, that should read Town of Fort Smith.
I wondered when I read it, I'm like, I changed something else.
Okay, we can change, are you okay to making that
Make it
amendment?
Town of Fort Smith, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Any further comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried unanimously.
I'm gonna abstain from it.
Okay, with one abstention, Councillor Bates. Date of next councillor meeting, regular meeting of council, community and municipal, May 19th, 2026 at 7, chaired by Councillor Cox. And followed by a regular meeting of council, protective and corporate services, June 2nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. And I'm looking for a chair for that one.
I'll just check my calendar before I
I'm not
commit.
even sure I'm in town, I think.
After the second.
2nd of June, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, Councillor Tucky, thank you. Excusing of councillors, we have two. Councillor Corbett.
Okay, I move that Mayor Ferguson and Councillor Heaton be excused from the regular meeting of council, May 5th, 2026.
Seconder. Councillor Tucky, all in favor? Carried. I don't see an audience for question period, so we'll skip over that one. And I guess as chair, I can't do my favorite motion. Deputy Mayor.
Move that the meeting be adjourned at 7:40.
Seconder. Councillor Cox, all in favor? Carried. Thank you very much.